speaking of an amazing person and coach, Jackson State Tigers women's basketball assistant coach for D1, Miss Juanita Ward, is here with us right now, a Syracuse WNBA and overseas basketball alum as well. And she joins us for Lead every single Friday, right around 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, brought to you by Chick-fil-A Cicero on 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, New York. So let's bring her in. Juanita, how are we doing today?
Hey, Dan, how's it going?
I'm doing well, and as you know off the air, my allergies is part of my annoying moment of the week. Like, I'm sick of it. I'm done with it. I don't know what I'm going to do. So, Juanita, either I need you to help me find some allergy medicine or just give me like a big club. You know Bam Bam, that club that he had?
Why don't you just do what Popeye the Sailor Man did? Just go drink some beans or something.
Well, the thing is Popeye always had his spinach, and I got a can of spinach yesterday, and I ate it, and I still don't feel good. So I think Popeye was a liar. You know what I mean? I think Popeye told us a lot of things, like, eat your spinach. I'm like, nah, man, that wasn't Popeye. That was a Jolly Green Giant in the background going, like, we need to push these cans. We need to get these cans moving. So, like, I know it. I know, there was some commercial thing to that. But, I tried the spinach. I tried, sleeping on my stomach so you drain everything down, and now between taking medication for it, and I did take some stuff for it, but, basically, when my doctor told me, he was like, you're allergic to dust and pollen, and I said, oh, thank God. Thank God those are two things that aren't everywhere. So, he's like, you're very allergic to dust, and I was like, oh, well, I'm just so happy that no house carries them, that it's not in buildings, it's not literally everywhere on everything all the time. So, I was like, why can't I be allergic to, I don't know, purple paint? Ain't nothing in my house painted purple. So, like, I wonder some of that stuff sometimes, but, it's fine. I have, like, the normal, typical ragweed, pollen, dust, allergies, but they've kicked into high gear, Juanita, and if anybody knows me, my throat, my speech is my life, and so my throat being sore this morning is not an ideal feeling, but I am happy to be here. So, how are you, and do you have any suggestions on what to do with this beautiful, beautiful feeling? Shout out pollen. And also, thank goodness, this half hour of Wake Up Call is brought to you by pollen. But, in my backyard, I have so many dandelions that it doesn't even look like grass anymore. It looks like the Green Bay Packers end zone. So, like, I'm tired, I'm frustrated, I'm angry. Yesterday I went for a walk and I wore my mask, not because of COVID, because, I didn't wear it because of that. And people were looking at me like, who's this weirdo? You know what I mean? Like, why is this guy wearing his shredder mask? We're out and we're walking and stuff. I wore my mask so that the pollen wouldn't get into my nose. That's why I wore it. And I came home and I felt worse. And I was like, what in the world is going on? So I'm looking up at God right now going, I know you love me. I know you're here for me. Don't giggle. Stop with that dandelion in my backyard. There was one and then there was 372 the next day. Like, I don't understand. God was like, I told my dandelions be fruitful and multiply. They did, Jesus. They did. They were fruitful and they multiplied. I have the most fertile land in central and upstate New York. I have 5,000 bunnies and 1,062 dandelions. So, if I ever want to have kids someday, I think I'll be fine. But I'm totally floored, and I'm hoping that God gives me an answer today to help me figure out what the heck I should take for this, because that Bam Bam Club is looking just so much, it's looking delightful right now.
Dan, you are so funny. Well, you know what? Everybody needs to just, go on and buy their tickets to your show right now, because you just experienced a Dan Tortora comedy show.
That's true.
Oh my gosh.
It's that, what?
Oh my gosh.
But it's
unbelievable.
Yeah.
But, I'm telling you, man, it's like the pollen this year, like we were talking offline, the pollen this year, it seems to be so much different than any other year
Yeah.
before now. And, I mean, it's kind of like you don't need people to tell you inside, because pollen is like knocking at your door going, don't come out here. If you come out, I got you.
Yeah.
But I guess that's just the reality. Times are changing, and, people that never had never had allergies before are, accumulating signs of having allergies. And so, I guess it's just a different thing. But Dan, you are hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. My cheeks are hurting from laughing so hard at you. Unbelievable, man.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I remember, I love that song, the Somebody's Knocking at Your Door. And it's like, sounds like Jesus. Not me. Not me. I know Jesus is here. He's in the house. It's like, somebody's knocking at your door. Pollen! That's who's knocking at my door. I'm not opening it. I'm not doing it. Pollen, you can't come in. I can't, Little Richard, I hear him too. Somebody's knocking, but you can't come in. That's also pollen. So I'm not doing it. I'm not living in it anymore. Okay? It doesn't sound like Jesus. Jesus is in my house. We're having dinner. Pollen needs to stay outside. It's on everything. It's touching it. It's like soot. And when I can't see it, I can feel it. I'm just, and this is my other thing too. I love bees because they make honey. But they bother me. They always make nests around they come to the front of my house. I don't have any trees. I have no trees. None. You would think the bees could go to any tree. Literally any tree anywhere. There's so many of them in central and upstate New York. These bees go to the front of my house. They go to the back of my house. Today, there was a bumblebee yesterday flying around. I go, you live at your house? This ain't where you live. This is not yours. This is mine. So do your thing. I'm not buzzing around you. Do you. Go to your tree. Do what you got to do. I'm going to take care of my house. When I'm going in my front door and I've had a long day, you don't need to be standing next to me going, let me in the house, let me in the house, let me in. No, I'm not going to do it. Okay? So I love honey, but I got a problem with bees because they don't act right. And I got a problem with pollen. So I don't know how to make this all work, because in order for me to get my honey, I need them all to work together. But ain't nobody knocking at my door that I'm trying to let in right now if it starts with a P and it ends with an Olin. So that's where I'm at, Juanita.
Well, you know what? I guess today's topic is going to be hilarious, because we're talking about taking a walk in the park. Dan, I don't know how you're going to take a walk in the park, because you taking a walk in the park, you're definitely going to get jacked up, because pollen is waiting on you as soon as you step outside the door.
I know. You know how upsetting that is? Because Chick-fil-A, like, it's like it's so, like, you can, there's a Chick-fil-A in one direction for some people. There's a Chick-fil-A, because there's two of them now. And if I want to go to Chick-fil-A right now, I got to deal with it. I went to Chick-fil-A yesterday. Do you know that of any car, a wasp landed on my car? I couldn't open my window to make my Chick-fil-A order. Do you know how frustrating that is? Like, I looked up at God, I was like, what am I doing? Why are they blocking me from Chick-fil-A? They're moving pollen around, and now I can't order my Chick-fil-A. I was going to tell the lady, I was going to put my back window down and be like, hey, he's in my front window. I'm going to order from the back. Is that okay? I'm just going to pop the trunk. Can I pop the trunk and you can hear me, right? I got a broadcasting voice. I'm just going to send it to you that way. Will you take my money from the other side? So, I mean, I literally had a plan of how I was going to order my Chick-fil-A food if this wasp didn't move, because I wasn't going to let that wasp in my car. Absolutely not. So, I just, I think God's messing with me, and that's all right. And that's okay. I'll be fine. Pollen and bees, not a bad problem. But, all I'm saying is that I would like to have a little bit of peace when I order Chick-fil-A, and I would like to go walk on the parkway and be left alone by pollen and all that stuff. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, we're talking about a walk in the park today, and my walk in the park yesterday was very pollen-oriented, obviously. So from everything we've talked about up to this point, what can you say a walk in the park means to you, Juanita, outside of the beautiful, beautiful pollen that has followed us all this year? And they picked a perfect year. Allergies picked a perfect year. Hey, let's be the worst we've ever been in the middle of a pandemic. This sounds like an M. Night Shyamalan movie, like the movie The Happening. So I'm not about it. I don't like it. I was watching an End of the World movie yesterday, and I had to shut it off in the middle because I was like, why am I getting anxiety for no reason? So I shut it off. I tried to go to bed. I'm trying to be positive about a walk in the park, Juanita. So tell me about a walk in the park for you.
Well, I'm telling you, Dan, it's the most gratifying feeling in the world, honestly. After you get out there, you start to experience, just nature. And, it's relaxing. It's encouraging. You get a chance to see the greenery. It's a different scene. And the most important thing, why I think it's so important for everyone, if you have an opportunity or if you can take a walk in a park, it's something that you should do and you should put into your routine because it's outside of the norm. Typically, we get off work, we go into the house, or we go to our lawn or whatever, and we try to get some things done around there. And if there's ever a vacation, you typically think of going to the beach or something along those lines. Everyone wants to go put their feet in the sand, and I think that it's just an awesome thing. Number one, it's going to keep you healthy because of exercising purposes, and number two, it allows you to relieve stress. It allows you to release, stress, relieve and release. And it's important because we deal with so much on a regular basis. We go through so much on a regular basis, and it's just important to have self-care. This month is self-awareness. It's mental health month. And so with that being said, it's very important to take care of yourself. It's very important to, line your opportunities up, which means when you're out there, what are you doing? Like, of course you're walking, of course you're exercising, of course you're relieving and releasing yourself. But most importantly, the most important thing that you can do is release your mental, enjoy yourself. Just take some time for yourself to just relax. It's the most important thing to do in the whole entire world is self-care. And for me, when I'm taking that walk in the park, it's like, it's so gratifying. I mean, you feel the fresh air, you feel, the sun, I can tell you a quick story. This past weekend, I went with, someone that I love dearly, and we went, walking in the park, and it was so incredible. And it was actually through a nature trail, and we walked up on this swamp, and not even expecting to get there, we were kind of like walking through, it was, I guess you would say it was a tree, it was I guess a tree park. And so it was telling us about different trees. And, I just thought, yeah, okay, we'll probably come up on a lake or something because I heard the water. But I wasn't expecting to come up on a swamp. And I thought to myself, what a fascinating way to experience, this opportunity outside to, just take in the sun, take in, the fresh air. But then a treasure is at the end of it. We come up on a big, humongous swamp. For me, that's incredible because you don't typically see a lot of swamps here in Mississippi. Like, you see lakes and you see ponds and things like that. And so the beauty of that, I'm looking at these trees, how the leaves are drooping over, and, all of the, there's dew and all this stuff. And it was just beautiful. I mean, the scenery was fantastic, phenomenal. And it was a great memory for us that even though you have so much going on in your life, just take a moment to take in, just take a moment to breathe, just take a moment to release and revive yourself. And at the end of that, there's beauty on the other side. And so I was so grateful for that. So you never know. The walk in the park is way more than just walking or exercising. It's an opportunity to see that there's beauty on the other side.
Yeah, and I agree completely that, a walk in the park does mean so much. And I literally had a walk in the park yesterday, and there's so much beauty in that. And and there's so much, it's amazing to have that and to connect with that. It's to connect with nature. People talk about it and it goes understated sometimes. Or, it's funny. Yesterday I was talking about cliches, and I was talking to my guy Prince Tyson Gully, who played running back at Syracuse, and we were talking about, I was like, cliche is just another word for that which is true. And a walk in the park, oh, that's so cliche. Yeah, it is, but it's also one of the best natural remedies for stress, for anxiety, for confusion, for depression, for sadness. Walking in the park and taking that time to pray, to think, to meditate, to listen to music, to call a friend, to call your family. Yesterday I brought Lily, to walk with your dog. And so for me, like, it would, my walk in the park, albeit, pollinated and all that stuff, my walk in the park was so peaceful because, healthy body, healthy mind is important to me. So I got my steps in. So that was crucial. So I was able to get my steps in. I was able to walk my dog, which made me feel good to do something nice for Lily because she's so good to me. People walking by and smiling at her and smiling, thinking she's cute and all that, that made me smile. That, little things like that still make people happy in this crazy world, and I love seeing that, and the people say hello, and that made me smile. Talking to my best friend Evan, that made me smile. And, being able to send messages to someone that I really care about, and of the beauty of being out there, to, just thinking and praying and just talking to God and talking to myself and talking things through. There's so many things that a walk in the park does. And I mean, and I'm an example of what a walk in the park can do. I dropped weight, I built muscle, my body changed, my mind changed, my ability to take care of myself elevated. So as much as my throat may be sore and my ears may be plugged because of allergies, my heart is open, my mind is peaceful, more peaceful than it's been in maybe forever, and my body is healthy. So a walk in the park, collectively compounded on itself over and over and over again, can change your life. It's not just a simple walk in the park. It's a dedication to health. It's a dedication to positivity. It's a dedication to moving forward. There's something beautiful about whether you're walking by the water, or you're walking in your neighborhood, or you're walking on vacation, wherever you're walking. There's something to be said about the beauty in the steps you take. And, it's funny, they say, if you take one step forward every day, you're doing the right thing, right? If you take one step forward every day, you're moving in the right direction. And I responded to that and I said, well, I take 10,000 steps forward every day. So I think that's just something to be cognizant of, is when you take a walk in the park, it helps your health in so many ways. It helps your mind, it helps your body, it helps your heart, it helps your soul. It helps you to think, it helps you to feel, it helps you to be honest with yourself. It helps you to get in tune with whatever's going on with you. A walk in the park is one of the simplest ways that we fight to actually help ourselves get healthy again. So I just think that there's so much beauty in it, and I'm always finding something else in it. So I would tell people, take it for what it's worth and give it a shot, because, the cliche term, a walk in the park, oh, it's just a walk in the park, makes it sound easy, but it's actually one of the best decisions you may ever make in your life.
Most certainly. I would definitely agree with you for sure, because, when you really just get an opportunity to just think about life and, think about how far you've gone in life. Like I said, again, this month is Mental Health Month. And, we've gone through a lot as people. And you have to take care of yourself. You have to take care of, what's going on around you and with you. And, you so many people don't take care of self, because they're so generous, they're so kind, there's before them, and eventually it ends up falling back on them because they're taking on the stress of the whole entire world, and they're trying to figure out, okay, how can we make things right? How can I make things better? Because we've been taught, don't think about yourself, don't think about yourself. And when it comes down time for self-awareness, and it comes down time for self-care, it's not that you're being selfish, is that you're really valuing, what's going on with you, what's going on inside of you. And you have to be able to, get back to a mental place where you can, perform at your highest level. You can, articulate things at the highest level. You can do, certain things at the highest level. And taking that walk, is the most gratifying thing ever. Take some time to just relax. Take some time to just enjoy. Dan, and it's deeper than just taking a walk in the park. Things that we go through in a life every single day. Do we just take time to, realize what's going on? Do we take time to analyze what's going on? Or do we just allow life to pass us by? Do we just allow situations to continue to arise without really thinking about the proper answers and without thinking about the proper way to deal with different things in life? Do we just keep going and let life happen, as they say, I guess for cliche lack of terms? Life happens. Life happens. Well, when do we get a grip? Do we just continue to say life happens? When do we get a grip? When do you put things into perspective and put things into order? And the purpose of taking a walk in the park is to put things into perspective, put things into order. Take a pause for just a second out of your busy day to take some time for yourself. Life is going to happen. Things are going to happen. But if you continue to keep going down the same road and continuously on the same cycle, you'll never advance. You'll never make it to the next level because you continue to allow yourself to believe that, oh, life just happens. Life just happens. Oh, that was a part of life. Well, sometimes storms happen in your life not to destroy you, not to bring you down, but storms happen in your life to push you forward. Sometimes when the wind is blowing, it's not blowing you to keep you from forward. Sometimes the wind is blowing from behind you to push you into your next level, to push you into your next opportunity, to push you into the next dimension of where you're supposed to be, to put you back on track. Sometimes people get off track. Why? Because they're so consumed with everything that's going on in life. And taking that walk in the park gives you an opportunity to readjust, realign, refocus, rejuvenate yourself. It gives you an opportunity to really dedicate yourself within yourself, to rely on your own personal perspective on where it is that you're trying to go and what you're trying to do. And for everything that is worth, you're definitely going to be better for the next person because you are identifying who you are as a person, because you're taking time to just see the beauty on the other side. We get so consumed with everything that's going on. You have to take that time to really keen in on what's going on in your life. And that walk, notice we didn't say take a run in the park. Take a jog in the park. No, take a walk in the park. And taking a walk in the park means you're slowing down because everything is going so fast. Technology is speeding up. Things are happening in the world so fast. Kids are learning at a rapid pace so fast. It's time to, relax a little bit. It's time to rejuvenate yourself, refocus yourself. When you take a walk, you're learning patience. Yeah. You're learning how to endure. You're learning how to overcome. Like I said again, you notice we didn't say take a run in the park. You're not trying to speed through life. That's what we're doing right now every single day of our life. We wake up and you're on the go. You're watching the clock and you're waiting, you're counting down. I can't wait till this happened. I got a meeting here, there. When you stop, as you used to say all the time, Dan, when you stop to smell the roses, I absolutely loved every time you said that. I mean, oh, Juanita, you have these beautiful roses beside you. I can only imagine you're just smelling the roses. But truly, when people stop to really just smell the roses, there's something on the other side that's awaiting them. Don't be so consumed with speeding through everything just because that's the way things are going. Take control of who you are. And what you can't control, it's not for you to control.
And you echo so many things that we talk about here on the show and so many things we've talked about this week. Control what you can control. We focus on everything we can't control. And that's where stress comes from. Stress, and I'm gonna ask everybody to be honest with themselves. Look at the stress in your life. How much of it has to do with stuff you can't control? How much of it has to do with what you want somebody to do, what you want a job to do, what you want the world to do, what you want the government to do, what you want this to do and that to do? How much of it has anything to do with you? Because here's the thing about stress. It attacks, but it holds on if you let it. Stress is going to come after everybody, and it's going to try to attack you. But do you let it get its grip on you? The grip comes on you when you realize I can't control this, and then you just stay stressed about it. If you can't control it, and I know it's easier said than done, but if you can't control it, let go of it. You can't control it. Let go of it. Okay? Dealing with stuff we can't control is like trying to put a lasso around a tornado. It's never going to work. It's never going to happen. And you're going to use up all your energy trying to throw that lasso over that tornado. And sometimes you're going to get sucked away. So be smart about the fact that we can't control everything. We really can't control anything except for us, except for you. It's the only thing you have control over. What you say, what you do, how you act, how you think, how you feel. You have to control what you can. And sometimes God's going to take some of that, right? Sometimes, you just feel and that's it. And you can't control that. But it's about honing who you are and what you're about. It's about accepting the fact that some things can't be figured out and some things can't be explained. Some things don't make sense. And that's okay. My parents told me that a long time ago. It doesn't have to make sense. My dad said to me repeatedly, and he still says it, he says, Dan, everybody's got an opinion, like everybody's got a backside. Some of them talk out their backside, and some of them don't. But they all have an opinion like they have that. And some people act like that. Some people are mean, and some people are not. But it's not your job to try to make them something that they are or that they're not. Everyone has an opinion. It doesn't make them right. It just means they have an opinion. I mean, if you really break down life between us worrying about other people's opinions, which we can't control, and worrying about other people's actions, which we can't control, if we took all of the worry out that comes from other people's opinions and actions and thoughts of us, how much will we actually be stressed about? Probably not much. So, we've been pushed in this world to be scared, which is the devil's lie. That's what fear is. We've been pushed to be scared. We've been pushed to question. And we've been pushed to feel uncomfortable. The God I believe in seeks to never harm, always build up, create peace within, strength, joy, and a self-awareness that goes beyond anything that anybody could ever say against us to change our minds. So I would tell people, if you feel lost, take a walk in the park. If you've never prayed, give it a shot. God, I'll tell you one thing that I really believe about God. He doesn't care how much you call him. He'd love for you to call him every day, of course. But he just wants you to call him once. That's all it takes is the first time. God just wants a phone call. Yeah, he's a parent that always wants you to call home. But every time that phone rings, he's going to be ready to talk to you. He's not going to remind you the 972 times you didn't call. He's going to be happy to be on the phone with you today. So, if you've never called God, dial his number. See what he says. Take a walk in the park. Take a deep breath. Joke about it. Laugh about it. Man, my throat hurts. My throat is hurting this entire show. But I didn't stop doing my show. Why, Dan? Because I can't control this. Outside of getting my sleep and getting my fluids and making sure I do what I can do, I can't make this feel 100% right now. But God gave me an opportunity to do what I love and love what I do. And he's worked with me every step of the way. So I'm not missing a show. I'm not doing that. And not only am I not doing that, I'm not going to be negative about it. I joked about it today. Juanita and I laughed about it today. So, yeah, is it hard to do sometimes? Yeah. Do I want to feel better? Of course I do. But what's more important to me than my throat and my ears and how they feel right now is the fact that I can still hear Juanita and I can still speak. And if I can still speak and I can still listen, then we can still have a conversation that hopefully will uplift somebody. And if I've learned anything about life, you have to take the pain with the promise. You have to take the pain with the perseverance. You have to take the my throat hurts and my ears are plugged with the I can't take a day off to spread a positive message. So, I'm here, and I hope that you came to the table too, because everybody can eat dinner at my table, and that's just how it is.
I believe that there's 5 ways that we can win, in life. And, the number one way is to let go of your past. Number 2 is to control what you can control. Number 3 is to speak life, replace fear with faith, And number 4 is to believe that faith overcomes fear. And number 5 is to believe that God has a plan for you. And if we can do those things, we're ultimately saying, okay, God, I place everything that I have, everything that's going on, all of my challenges, all of my wins, I place all of that in your hands because I know that you have a plan for me. I'm going to replace the fear. And I often say that fear is false evidence appearing real. And I'm going to replace that fear with faith of believing that things are going to change, believing that things will turn around, believing that there is a greater outcome for me. If we can become more of conscious of who we are as far as being thankful every single day, we're human. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to encounter some good. We're going to encounter some bad. But at the end of the day, if we can replace what we see as a negative and replace that with a positive and be grateful in all things, not just when good things happen, not just when we get a promotion, not just when we get a brand new car, a brand new house, and we're so grateful, we're just jumping for joy. But sometimes, like I said before, sometimes storms come not to destroy you. Every storm that's put in your way is not to stop you. Storms are put in your way to strengthen your faith. When we go through different things in life, what's the lesson that you learn in that? How do you grow from that? Or do you just stay with the negative mindset of believing that, nothing is ever going to get better? That walk in the park for us, that walk in the park for you, is for you to grow, is for you to mature, is for you to overcome, is for you to think outside the box, is for you to relax, is for you to rejuvenate, is for you to refocus, is for you to realign, is for you to readjust. That walk in the park is for you. That walk in the park is so that you can be better than you were yesterday. That walk in the park is so that you can make an impact on someone else's life. That walk in the park is not just simply walking and exercising. That walk in the park is strengthening who you are. Let go of what you can't control. Control what you can. That's your emotions, the way you think. The way you articulate and respond to different things. Control what you can control. When you're driving your car, obviously you can't drive and control the wind. You can't drive and control who's going to cut you off. But what you can control is thinking ahead. What you can control is that steering wheel. What you can control in the park here is you walking. You can control how you sway your body from side to side. You can control how you move your arms. You can control certain things, and the things that you can't control, let it go. When fear tries to grip you, replace that with faith. Faith steps in and says, I'm stronger than you believe. I'm stronger than you're giving yourself. I'm more wiser than you are putting upon yourself. I'm more capable than you're believing, than you think that you can be. That's what faith steps in and does. Faith believes the impossible. Faith believes that you can turn your impossible into I'm possible. The walk in the park is for you. Believe it. We say it all the time. I can, I will succeed. It's not just something that we just say just to say it. It's truly a declaration. It's truly a decree. It truly has changed lives. When you can step up, when you can say to yourself, I will succeed. Those few words are someone else's life source. Because when you believe in yourself, the next few words that are going to come out of your heart, out of your mouth, is going to be seeds going to water someone else's soil that's inside of them. What are you speaking? Speak life. And really, truly, just enjoy yourself. That walk in the park is for you. Dan, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate everything that you do, man. This show is just not about, you just being on the air and getting the fame, but this show is way more deeper, way more getting yourself in tune and aligning who you are as a person. And I'm telling you, I'll say it 1,000 times until I'm blue in the face, until I have no more air in my body to breathe. What you're doing and allowing everyone to know that Jesus Christ is real and he is the center and God is covering us and God has a plan for us. It's the most gratifying thing in the whole entire world. When you can step up and say, you know what? I'm going to proclaim, I'm going to talk about who I believe and who I serve openly. God says, that's my boy. I definitely have great things in store for him because he's not afraid. He's not scared to talk about me. He's not scared to put me out there in front of the whole entire world. He's not afraid. He doesn't sugarcoat anything. That's my boy. And that's the reason why I have him standing on the front line as a soldier, as a warrior. And so I appreciate you so much, Dan, because people need to know that Jesus is love. And he can take care and handle any and everything that you're going through. The only thing we have to do is have a little bit of faith and just simply believe. Thank you so much, Dan, man. You know I love you.
I love you too, Juanita, and I appreciate those amazingly kind words and all the good that you bring into my life. And I will work to deserve them, but I don't know where God belonged in the spotlight from the beginning. So I don't know who took him out of it, but I gladly put him back in whenever he needs to be. So, I mean, I don't know how to live life any other way. If I try to live it without God, that's an immediate failure. And if I live it with him, there's no way I can fail. That's the difference for me. So I appreciate you. I love you back. And thank you for being a part of my family. Thank you for doing lead with us and just all the positive that you bring and that you continuously teach people that they will succeed. And it is a declaration. It is a decree. I will succeed. So thank you for all you're doing and much love as always. And I look forward to talking with you soon.
Awesome. Take care, Dan.
Take care. That coming from Juanita Ward here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets that thing called life. And, we are the difference. That's what I believe. People say, how is Wake Up Call different? I guess my response to you is just listen. Just listen. You'll be able to figure it out pretty easy.